friends, Pat Sloan here. Let's first start with the Halloween mystery quilt along, because you know that's like the prime thing for today is the next block, which is the third block, the third section, and then next week, which is the end of the quilt along, the mystery quilt along, will be setting the blocks that we've made. So what do you think is missing? Where are you going to go trick-or-treating at? The haunted house. Yes, how darling is this? So you have to have a haunted house to go trick-or-treating in, right? Yeah, so we're going to make a super cute one. We're going to go to the other side so I can look at some fabric with you. I have the kitty cat, the stars, and the bat with the moon in the bag here. So we're going to look at those in a second here. I'm going to put them out. This block seems to have a lot of parts, but I tell you, it goes together very quickly. So we're going to look at the fabric first before I show you what I ended up with. So to review, because it's a small piece, we only have a few blocks, and so color is kind of important to hold it all together. At least I think it is. So we have working here. Okay, let me get these guys out. So there's the kitty, which I did in a gray. Okay, right? So I did him in gray, did the bat in the, the moon in orange, and then I added just a little bit of purple. So I added purple here, and then the stars are gold and purple. And so we have the haunted house now. And so, I'm thinking there's just a lot of ways to go with the haunted house. Do you really love purple? Maybe you want to bring purple in. As you saw when I did the cat parade, people brought in green, because you saw some of them with their extra blocks, they brought in green. My line has the purple, the pink, the yellow, the black, the orange. So I'm working with Tiny Frights. Here is the line. And so let me just do a few combos, because one thing is using black. So I have some black options for this. I mean, it could go, is that it? Oh, I don't know that there's enough. It might be enough to squeeze out. These are just the black, so this one has a lot more pattern in it. I used it for the bat. It's being a flower. I mean, it would make the haunted house kind of sweet. Here's some really, the lightning bolts. That would be kind of like a more jarring house. The eyeballs and the mushrooms. The mushrooms would be kind of sweet. So I ended up using the eyeballs, as you can see that it's cut up. But what if you were going to use something other than black? You could go for, there's purple eyeballs. So let's say you were going to do a purple house to go with all of this because you wanted to be super friendly. The line has the gold, so you could bring in the gold. You could do something like, see here, the front of the house, there's a door and 4 windows, and then the roofs of the 4 peaks. So let's say I wanted to do a door with sort of the graveyard, but then I could do the windows with this flower like that. And then maybe do the roof, yeah, so you could do the roofs like this. And so there would be kind of a option for purple, for making a purple house. Let's say you wanted to do an orange house. Do I even have the ability to do an orange house? You could do a light orange house. What am I looking for? Oh, it's over here. So let's say we want to do an orange house. You could do the mushrooms. If you did an orange house, you could do the mushrooms, then you could do maybe some black accents for the doors and the windows, the black and the gray. That would be kind of neat. Like this, black and gray for doors and windows. And then the roof line, you could bring maybe in some purple then, like this. So that would be another really, really sweet option for, for your house, for your haunted house. I went with the black. I decided to go with the black house, sort of to keep all those colors together like that. So let's see what it looks like. We're going to go to the other side. And here's how it turned out. I went ahead and used a really light orange print for the windows. The one that's actually the same print as the cat, but it was done with white with the orange outline. It has like little ghosties and mushrooms and stuff like that. And then I used the mushrooms for the front door, and the floral, the orange floral. I love that floral so much. That would be just a beautiful backing fabric in any of the colors that come in this line. This Tiny Frights is not in yet. I had the manufacturer Moda send me the fabric before we started, knowing the Fat Quarter Shop, was going to have it. But it'll be in. It'll eventually get in. So look how cute this is. All right, now I put the other blocks, I'm going to stand back here a bit. I put the other blocks on another board so you can see everything together since my design wall is full. So here we go. Here is the cat, the moon. See, they look so good, but I do think that you could do the purple house or an orange house. I think either one would look really good. So I think it can go any way you want to go. Some people have like a gold moon. Some of you are doing all this on a dark background, so you might have to have a lighter house. So isn't that cool? Next week we'll get the layout to assemble all these. One thing I did do was keep from the roofs there, I kept the half square triangles and I cut them. Whoops. I sewed them, rather. They're already cut. So they were the cutaways from making the flying geese units of the roof here. From making these, I saved those because I thought if I want to extend the border just a little bit, or maybe make it just a little bit longer or something, I have some half square triangles to play around with. I have to see once I'm playing around with the layout what I might want to do. All right, let's look at Mikasa. Got a couple of fun things here today. So Mikasa, this is from the Sew Sampler box from May, and you can still buy just the box. You don't have to be a subscriber. You can buy just the box, which will get you the kit and some other goodies. But this is so darn cute. Now I have been messing around with the layout. So look at the colors here and the layout of it. The red and the yellow oranges are in the middle, and then the navies are on the side, greens are in the other corner. So I decided to go ahead and balance them out a little bit more and take the reds out to where the green is, to switch that out. And then I flipped some of the half square triangles. So let me get you the other camera and we'll look straight on. One of the magical things about half square triangles is this: by rotating them you can create different designs. So what I did, look again, see the red and the orange are in the corners now where they were originally underneath in the middle. And so I feel like that dark balances those corners a little bit better. And then I rotated these so that it makes like an arrow point going all the way out on all of them. And I think that looks really cool. Now the other thing you could do is you could mix it up a bit so that, well, let me just show you what I'm thinking. What I did here is there are 4 reds. So I put the reds alternating the floral and the small red into those inner spots. And then I left 2 blues and then 1 blue alternating, and then the orange alternating. And so that gives me another look that sort of mixes it up so it's a little more scrappy looking, not as controlled as having that red, orange, and that navy there. And I like this better. I think it offsets the scrappiness here of these points. So I don't know, I'm thinking this might be the one. So I do think this will be it. I really like that layout. I like that it mixed up the corners a little bit more, so that it's a tiny bit more scrappy. And this is what happens when you're using just a layer cake, which is all the fabrics for a fabric line. So you're getting 1 10-inch square of each. So you have a little bit of scrappiness that happens, which I think is really cute and makes it a lot of fun. Now there are still boxes for this, so you can still go buy just that box, but once they're gone, they're gone. And this pattern is exclusive to the box. You're not going to be able to buy the pattern. It is so fun. It is really worth it. You'll enjoy making it. Okay, I have a little critter mail call, and I knew right away what was in this. It's critter time. This is from our ambassador Barbara in Ohio. Isn't that fun? Barbara is delightful, and such a good ambassador. So she sent a critter. Look, look how sweet this snail is. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. We don't have a snail yet. So this is so darling, and the link for the snail is in the description box below if you want to make a snail. The link to the pattern is there, and I will put it on the critter page at I Love to Make Quilts. So you can always go there and see all the different critters and links to where the patterns are. So cute. So cute. Well, speaking of specialty boxes like the Sew Sampler, the Fat Quarter Shop puts out a specialty box a couple times a year, and we just had the Liberty box being delivered. Now the Fat Quarter Shop did show theirs, but I wasn't quite ready to show mine, and I always like to wait a little bit till my community shares, just so that everybody gets their boxes, because you can choose not to watch a video, but you know, particularly if somebody's like this. Now, okay, if you haven't got your box yet, don't watch. But if you're in your feed on Facebook, you can't choose not to see a public group. It just kind of comes up. So I like to wait until, you know, I'm sure everybody's pretty much gotten their box. So these are the Liberty boxes. They sold out because you are so awesome. Proceeds of this, there's some proceeds from each box. It was going to Quilts of Valor up to $5,000. And so the Fat Quarter Shop, Kimberly and Kevin Jolly donated $5,000 to Quilts of Valor from the sales of these boxes. And they're so fabulous. Okay, well, I did get the top done. So let me first show you what is in the box, and then I'll show you my top, okay? Oh, I gotta get this cord out of the way. Hold on. All right, let me make a little space here. Hold on, everybody, hold on. Okay, here we go. Working tight in the corner. Okay, so the Liberty box, just like all the Sew Samplers, it has a little splash page, Sweet Liberty. And on the back is a coupon for 20% off Sweetwater fabrics, which are the fabrics that are featured. And also you can get, oh, there's a little bit of a bonus thing that you can get. So I'm not going to tell you that. You got a box, you know. All right. So in here, they also give you a little legend that says what everything is, what's going in here. Super cute measuring tape. Everything is Americana, kind of summery. Look how cute this is. Look at that with the cherries on it. And we have some fabric, of course, for the project. Before we get to that, there was a custom color of the ruler, the 4.5-inch ruler. I love when they do custom colors like this. So this has got red, white, and blue. Isn't that fantastic? Looks like little flowers there at the intersection. So darling. We also got red, white, and blue pins. Look how sweet they are. I love that too. Everything is color coordinated. That is my favorite thing in life, color coordinating. I love it. And then coasters. These coasters, Liberty Box coasters, they are so cute. How do I crack into these? You know, honestly, I did not open them yet. I did the project. I did not open the box of coasters. So there's 2 coasters. So Land of the Free, look at that. And Fireworks. Land That I Love, USA. Fireworks, and oh, so cute. Okay, so then there's the fabric. And I have this stack I was going to show you, so I didn't have to open this one. Hold on, let me get that. Let's look at the project. It's the best, it's the best. Look at the flag. It is so cool. Okay, the flag is 27 by 36 and uses, you have leftover fabric except for the white. There wasn't much left of the white. And I'm going to show you because I made mine. And that was my goal before I did the reveal to have the top done. I was sewing it this morning before I taped the video. That counts. There we go. Look how cute. Look how cute. The star. The star is amazing. Look at that. And then the fabrics. So here we go, and I'll show you them up close then, because you can still get the stateside fabric. This is stateside by Sweetwater. One of the fabrics has all the states in it. It's a text print with all the states and their little logos, or their slogans rather. Their slogans, not logos. It's all words. But isn't that cute? So I'm gonna quilt this up with the wave stitch, of course, horizontal across. And I don't know, maybe I'll fussy quilt the star and then wave stitch, or maybe just all wave stitch, who knows. Okay, isn't that cute? So you get the package of there's all fat quarters in here, and this is what the fabrics are. So you can buy the stateside fabric. I have it linked for you, of course. So it's Americana, but it's a splash of other types of fabrics. This is a really, really nice red. I love that little tiny star in there. And there's a couple flag fabrics, a stripe, and then the white on white with the red America, and then white on white for the other parts of the America. White flag. Classic. And the scale of these is awesome. So if you want to do hold on. So I'm talking about doing one of the barn stars for my front door. The scale of stateside is also really good for this. So if you love, you want a little bit more stars, and let me just show you the light blue. That is, these would make also a really great barn star block for your front door or in your house, or just a whole quilt. Okay, here's the states. Look at this. They are so fun. California, the Golden State; Arizona, the Grand Canyon State; Ohio, the Buckeye State; Colorado is the Centennial State; Nevada is, what is that? Battleborn State; Oklahoma is the Sooner State; North Dakota, the Peace Garden State. So it's got everybody in here. Alaska, the Last Frontier. Wasn't that like Star Trek? Where are my Trekkies? Maryland, the old line state. Okay, Cowboy State is Wyoming. See, isn't that fun? I have yet to find Virginia. I haven't found Virginia. Vermont's the Green Mountain State. New York, the Empire State. Where is Virginia? Did I not get a piece of Virginia on here? Okay, I will have to look. And then when we get the navy with the red America on it, white writing and America. So those are the fabrics, and stateside, which is still, there's lots of that available. Now the pattern is exclusive to the box. So if you didn't get the box, the pattern is only for the box. Maybe you have a friend who's made it and now can give you the pattern, because remember, no copying of patterns is copyright violation. None of that. So look how cute it is. I'm so excited. It's too big for my front door. Too big. Even I wouldn't hang it that way, but I'll hang it inside, or drape it over my couch, something like that. So neat. All right, I had a few other things here. Let me see. Let me just do a couple of follow-up and Q&A. So on the UFOs, and I will probably over the next few days kind of dive into each one of these, but there were several questions that were repeatedly asked. So let me just answer those, and this is how I do things. You can certainly do UFOs your own way. So the first thing is, what about my part center blocks? So that would be the blocks here. These are blocks, this whole basket of blocks that I made for random things that blocks didn't get used over many years. So somebody said, does this count as a UFO? No, it doesn't, because they are not a project. They are like having leftover fabric that just happens to be sewn into a block. The blocks were never intended for a quilt. A UFO to me is a project that is in progress. That is not a project in progress. That's like having a scrap bin. It's just they happen to be sewn into blocks. So that is a different kind of a animal to me. And same thing with the crumb blocks that I did. They are not a UFO, because I just might use them. I'm just going to use them like fabric. So that's the answer to that one. Are my quilt tops? So I finished the quilt and it's just a top, a flimsy. I like to call them a flimsy. Just the top. Is the top a UFO? I think it's a UFO, but it's a different category for me. Once it gets to be a top, it's no longer in progress. It's gone on to the next stage. And so that's a UFO, but it's its own stage of UFO. So I will count how many tops I have. I have a lot more than I used to, a lot less than I used to have. I've given the tops away to charity to quilt. I did a whole bunch of those last year. I've spent the last 2 years, downsizing a lot of these things that were just never going to happen for me. I've moved on. So the tops, I don't know how many I have left. Still have a group of them. So I will dive into that. What about my quilts that need binding, or your quilts that need binding? Not just my quilts, but your quilts that need binding. Do those count as a UFO? Again, like tops, they're its own category of thing that need, quilts that need binding. And I'll count those too. So I'll do that another day. Are projects that you have not started yet a UFO? So that means that you have a pattern, you might have some fabric, you might have all the fabric, you might have a kit, you might have like everything you need all together, or you might just have the pattern and you know you want to make it. Those are not UFOs. Those are projects waiting to be done. They've never been started. You didn't cut any fabric, so you could easily disassemble that, put all your fabric back on the shelf if you decide you're not going to make it. To me, that is not in progress. That's a wish list. It just happens to be collected up with fabric and pattern together. So I think that was, okay, so do I have a cross-stitch UFOs? Do I have cross? Yes, I have cross-stitch UFOs. Most of my cross-stitch is a UFO because I don't cross-stitch very much and I'm slow. So I have a bunch of them that I've started and I've not finished, and I already went through one time and culled some out, and I might have to do that again and just pick a few to finish because I have a few that are close. So UFOs for cross-stitch are another day. And then there was one really great tip from our ambassador, Kathy. She said one of the reasons she has started, I don't know what, she probably did it years ago. She's been quilting a long time. But she started cutting as she went. Cut, sew, instead of cutting everything. Because she said that she found over time that occasionally she would get into a project, she would make a few of the blocks, get to a certain point, and then just feel like she was done. She didn't really want to make any more of it. And so this allowed her to not have everything cut, and so there was no waste. She only had to then sew what blocks were done together and be finished, and the rest of the fabric could go back into her collection. So there is a vote and a reason for why cutting and sewing as you go, like I do, is possibly something you might want to consider if you find that you run out of steam on a lot of big projects, that you never really get to the end of it. You can always sew up what you have done and call it done. All right, my friend, you have today, there you go. You have your haunted house to add to your mystery Halloween from the Fat Quarter Shop. And be sure you get your Mikasa, your Mikasa. I don't know where the pattern went, but you know what it looks like. This guy. Be sure you pick up that box if you want it. If you want it, get it now. It's in the description box. All right, my friend, I love you. Mwah. Thank you for being here in the Sloan Zone. I will see you online.